goes that way, right? He might do that to try to catch it, but if it comes this way, right? If it comes this way and goes this, he's gonna try to like catch one. Now as Ryan's ducking, can we do one where you go over like that? You know what I mean? So they're still holding, and that's the arch that takes Ryan there. Sure.
I've known Jon for, God, I guess 12 years, maybe 15 years, I'm not sure. Long time though. Yeah, we live near each other, our kids are friends. It's like, it's kind of the best of every possible world, you know, so shooting this movie's been amazing. To be shooting it here in New York as well is such a rare opportunity. I think I've shot one movie in New York and it was 16 years ago. So this is, you know, this has just been a dream come true for us.
Get in. 3, 2, 1, pop!
Blue is played by a up-and-comer named Steve Carell.
I'm blue.
But you're purple.
My kid, well, he was colorblind.
We have Blossom, a dancing butterfly, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Devilish style, adorable accent. I'm surprised it wasn't obvious.
I think before this movie, my kids thought I was an accountant. And so when they found out that I was actually making a movie about imaginary friends, they came to set for the first time and they got to experience all this stuff and sort of see behind the scenes and hang out with Cailey all the time and get to meet the IFs in whatever form they were in at the time. And so this was the most special experience for me. So good together. Wow. Okay, ready? And continuing. Action.
Yeah, just changing the record.
Blue's played by Steve Carell, who happens to be a dear friend. We actually worked together on this little thing a long time ago. So good to see you. Oh my Lord, I was just telling you guys, has it been years?
Years. I'm glad we're getting it. This is so intimate.
I just love that this is the 5th take and you did great on this.
All right, let me try one.
Okay.
When I read the script, I instantly connected with her. I just love how she's written. She has so many great qualities. She's creative, she is stubborn, she knows what she wants, she loves her family more than anything.
Thanks to you coming over here last night, I was like, oh, huzzah! This will be your tete-a-tete right to him. Okay, so can I see you here just for lighting? And then we will rock and roll.
This is a movie that Jon and I have been talking about for years now. So way before the script was ever even written, we were kind of banging back ideas back and forth about this and about what it might feel like to shoot something that, you know, in essence feels a bit like a live-action Pixar film. And that's really what Jon has put on the page, I think. In you know, it's incredibly emotional and it ebbs and flows. It's that make them laugh, make them cry, and bring them back to laughter. As we started shooting this movie, I've talked to a lot of people that, you know, they'll ask me what I'm up to. I'll say, oh, I'm shooting this film about imaginary friends. I've talked to people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who will talk about, oh man, I miss my imaginary friends. I had 2 when I was a kid, and their names were this and that. And they would kind of go into this sort of wistful, nostalgic, and not the least of which emotional kind of reverie of when they were kids and that time when they had that friend that was there for them unconditionally and always.
This is the most amazing, magical part.
How are you doing? How is everything?
I was very surprised when I was asked to play this, but I had been, Jon sent me a text saying, will you be in my film? And I thought, okay, but what? And then he said, and I'm getting Phoebe, who had written Killing Eve. We'll all meet for dinner. So we went to Phoebe's house for dinner one night. We had a hilarious night. And I came out saying, yes, I'd be in the film. But I hadn't read it or anything. So I played the little girl's grandmother. And you know, the situation is very interesting, very modern in a way. She has to come and stay with her grandmother, who she has not seen for some time. So it's both a very classical situation and a very unusual, uncomfortable one for both the grandmother and the girl.
Get up here. Last time I saw you, you were about that tall.
What is going on?
And my brother Jeff and I shared this imaginary friend back and forth, and it was like a really kind of a weird bond my brother and I had, and it's something we still talk about to this day. So this movie on every level really kind of resonated with me in ways that I both expected and didn't expect.
Hi.
Well, looky.
My daughter Hazel had an amazing imaginary friend. We were sitting around a campfire a long time ago, and when you first are exploring the world of s'mores, you realize very quickly that you can't leave the marshmallow in for too long or it lights on fire and falls into the fire. Hazel thought that was one of the funniest things ever, so she invented an imaginary friend who was always on fire. So it's a marshmallow that the top of it is always on fire, and he will also be in the movie too. Lewis is played by the one and only Louis Gossett Jr. I made her audition many times. A unicorn played by Emily Blunt.
This is just so exciting.
Ryan's the greatest. Ryan's absolutely wonderful. When he hosted SNL many years ago, it might have even been my first year, I just remember thinking, this guy's absolutely hilarious. It's a shame he's so ugly. And he's hilarious.
Ryan is one of the funniest people on the entire planet. He's kind, he's caring, he's everything you could ever want in a friend and a co-star. Because he's so effortlessly hilarious.
Oh, so anyway, I haven't seen Steve and geez, it's gotta be.
Oh my God! Oh my Are you kidding me?
Oh! Very nice, by
You
the
did
way.
too, anyway.
We've been all over New York, but huge chunks of the film take place in Coney Island, which is obviously this incredibly historic amusement park that has a great, I think, a pretty storied cinematic legacy as well. Shooting in Brooklyn and Brooklyn Heights has been great. I've lived in New York for, I don't know, 12, 15 years now, and it's such a rare opportunity to get to shoot at home.
You could save all of us.
All of whom? And don't say ifs.
Let him say it, or I think his head may actually explode.
For me, shooting practically is the most important part of any movie, whether it's all practical or there are visual effects elements, because your job is to bring people into the movie as honestly and in a real way as you can. And then introducing some magical elements, even in A Quiet Place. My job was to shoot 0 green screen and make sure that we shot the movie as if it was the real world. And then my job was to drop in these creatures in the background whenever they were necessary. We have Matt Damon, Amy Schumer, Chris Meloni.
I can find anyone. Anywhere. Go!
Oh, here we go.
Sam Rockwell.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Last week, I just started falling apart.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
I'm paying good cash, and this slime ball's taking up all the time.
Bobby is one of my favorite people in this entire world. He is hilarious. Obviously, he was on SNL, so he knows all about comedy. He's great. He exceeded anything that I could have ever wanted or hoped for Stress Man. Bobby brought it to the table and up 10,000 notches. Oh my God. I remember doing, what scene was it? Whenever he goes to the sink and he falls down, I had to stand in the bathroom stall and just try not to laugh because he's so great.
Out of the room!
Honestly, Doc, if this is how it's gonna be, I'm just gonna wheel myself back and plug in.
We've started a matchmaking agency to help IFs find new kids.
Or we just disappear.
Blue. Happy place.
Oh, coffee and croissants. Coffee and croissants.
Richard Jenkins. Matthew Reese. Bradley Cooper.
Hey! Okay, you saw this. This is my life in a nutshell, okay?
Jon Stewart.
Well, that's not nice. That doesn't make anyone feel good.
I met Cailey in the audition process. She came in and read with John and I, and you know, it was like one of those situations, like it always is. It really is always the same. It's when somebody walks in and they just are the person. You know within the first sentence that comes out of them. You just, you know, even though we'd already read with some pretty striking and incredible young actors, the second Cailey walked in, she just spoke, and you just knew. I mean, John and I kind of looked at each other. It was almost like, why continue with this charade of, you know, the rest of these scenes that we knew right away.
Maya Rudolph, George Clooney, Blake Lively, and Awkwafina. Undoubtedly the best cast I'll ever work with.